I thank the stars above. I know that we're gonna make it.
It'll take all we got, we gon' make it. Show the world that I shine in our greatness. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Taking off, flying high like a spaceship. Take control, take a shot, what you waiting for? Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Second verse, I'm telling you I'm ready to go, letting you know.
Hey, look. It's Ryan Mayer. Polishing on his Tahoe. So as I'm watching Ryan, I made a complete mess here of my oil change. I wasn't even going to film this, but I mean, it's a standard oil change on a 6.7, but I bought this damn thing here this morning when I went and picked up all my oil and stuff here to do the oil change. And I don't know if you can see, I've drilled 2 holes in it now, but I didn't even look. I pulled the red cap off the damn thing that was on it, slid it under the truck. So this red cap was on there. So I pulled the red cap off, set it on a table and slid the thing under the truck, and then pulled my drain plug out, and that didn't even have holes in it. The oil went everywhere. Oil went everywhere. Story of my life. So now I've been in here, and I should have had this oil change done an hour ago. I mean, literally, it should take you 20 minutes to do this. And I've been crawling around underneath my truck cleaning up oil. Perfect. Perfect start to the day. These 6.7s are really easy. Yeah, I got oil all down my arm. I thought I had like 3rd-degree burns on my fingers from my oil because I tried to put the cap back in once I seen the drain pan overflowing with oil. And I'll tell you what, the wife walked out in the garage at the right time. She grabbed my old oil pan there, which wasn't really big enough to catch all the oil out of this thing, and slid it under the truck to me. So 12 quarts of oil. I'd say I probably got 2 in the drain pan, and the other 10 ended up on the ground here. So now I'm gonna have to clean the crap out of my garage floor. Cool thing, well, one of the additional cool things about having a lifted truck is you can see the oil filter right there. So I'm getting ready to pop that off. I do have the plug for it to be able to put the plug in it so I can pull it out of there. So, have not even used this thing yet. First oil change on the truck here. I was excited. Get some fresh oil in it. Trying to get all this stuff done before it gets too cold outside. Obviously, as you can see, my truck doesn't really fit in the garage very good, so definitely don't want to be trying to change the oil laying outside in the cold. Caution, wear gloves, it says. So I'm going to go ahead and get this filter changed. I'm going to be running the Rotella. I don't know, I looked everywhere. I got this Hot Shot stuff. Now it already has some of this stuff in it. I added it into it back when I first got the truck. I run the fuel stuff too, and I got a new K&N filter. So and the Rotella 5W40 stuff there. So yeah, I'm gonna get this filter changed and make sure I don't make another fucking mess. And then I'll show you guys filling it up with oil, I guess. Like I said, I wasn't even going to video this until I made a big mess, and then I thought I'd show everybody. And that not having any holes in it just freaks me out. Like, do they normally come without holes in them? I bought a whole bunch of these in the past, and the holes have already been cut out, so I had to drill some holes in it because the oil was running over the top of it where it was sitting in there. I had to drill some holes in it to allow the oil to drain down inside of it, so I didn't make a bigger mess. So, all right, let me get this oil filter changed, and I'll be right back with you guys. See if I can show you guys this real quick. I know it's kind of dark in here. This is the whole reason why you want that cap. So you can see the oil filter sitting down in there. So I was able to get it loose. You put this cap in there, and these things got to come out sideways like that. Check it out. Not a drop of oil spilled. And then you can pull the cap off. It's the same way going back in, right? Obviously you want to service this thing with a quart of oil before you throw it back in. Check this out. Not a drop of oil spilled. It's all still in there. Pretty sweet. We'll set that thing up there and let it drain, and we'll fill this new filter up with some Earl and get it back in there. Pretty cool. First time I've ever used that. Freaking lifesaver. Obviously I've made enough of a mess today to last me 3 lifetimes. So not having a mess there, following the can cleaner well is great. Let me get this filter back on though. Get this filter back on. This thing be covered in plastic. That's why I like these. Why I like the K&Ns. One, they come with that. You wipe that off, put that in your windshield. Two, they're completely sealed, right? My hands are all slippery. Completely sealed. Put a quart of oil in that bad boy, and put the cap back on it. You'll be able to put it right back in there. All right, I'll be right back. Here's another little tip for you guys. If you actually use the K&N oil filters like I do, you can actually, the bottom of it's got you can put a socket on it, and it's a 1-inch. So I got this snap-on wrench that I use all the time, that I've used on other Dodge trucks when doing these filters. You can see the crazy angles that it's at. And it fits right in there. So I put the filter in there, I snug it up by hand, and then you know, I just I get as tight as I can with hand, and then I make sure it's snug with this. Obviously you don't want to tighten the shit out of it, but it's on there and it ain't gonna leak. So yeah, not often that I use these wrenches, but when you need them, they definitely come in handy. They definitely come in handy. So everything's tightened back up. I'm pretty much down to just oh, here, you want to see what I pulled it off with? So I pulled the factory one off with that. So it's going to be pretty wide when you're grabbing it, but if you got man hands, you can grab a hold of it and yank it off. Give it a couple turns until it gets loose. There's a plug worked like a charm. I filled that filter back up with oil, and put the plug on it, dropped it back in there, took the plug off and screwed it right up back into its housing, and then drop a drop of oil. And that's what I'm talking about. So that's done. I need to get back underneath here and tighten this drain plug up real quick, because it's just in there. Tighten that drain plug up and dump some Earl in here. I'm gonna call this done.
We're gonna make it.
Stepping like a weapon on the field to get some. On the real, we appear to get gone. Victory is ours, bring the chip home. Galactic, and I'm looking to get more. Raise it up, seen but you don't know. Running like the blood, pumping from the pressure of adrenaline rush. We crush whatever we touch. Where you been, yo? Everyone know. You know what I'm saying? And if you still don't get it,
Like that. So I had this cap loose. It wasn't clicked all the way on there when I was draining the oil out. And I'm gonna put a bottle of the hot shot. I usually do that about right in between the hot shot FR3. We're gonna put in there. So I'll get a gallon of oil. Well, actually just under a gallon. And this FR3 friction reducer will go in there too. So these bottles, this is 16 ounces, and it says it treats up to 11 quarts of oil. So even when I check my oil about halfway through, I don't know, 4,000 miles or so, I added that into it. And this is the first oil change this truck has had. Very first oil change the truck has had. I'm going to use this funnel here. Keep ourselves from getting oil all over the top of my motor. I don't know. I got OCD when it comes to stuff like that. I wouldn't be able to sleep. Set that funnel. We'll just dump this stuff right in. First time doing an oil change on this truck, I did so much research on what oil to use. Research after research after research. And I pretty much came to the conclusion as long as you're getting really good synthetic oil, come on, stay in there. As long as you're getting really good full synthetic oil, especially if you're putting the additives in it, the hot shot stuff, it ain't really much going to make a difference. You know, all the different freaking oil types they have out there. So get you a good synthetic blend, and as long as you're using these hot shot additives, you're going to be just fine. And the next oil change that I do, I got their stiction eliminator, which is supposed to help clean it. So the next oil change I do, I'll throw that in there. So right now we got 4 quarts of oil. This will make 8 here. This stuff's gonna come out fast, it's full. This will make 8 quarts. And then with putting the FR3 in there, the last gallon that I have, I will I won't put that whole gallon in there. I'll leave it shy just a little bit, and then we'll run it for a little while. I'll check the oil and then we'll top it off if we need to. No biggie. So one of the things that I like, I hope you all can hear me up there, with this hot shot stuff and all the reviews and research I did on that, it's pretty much impossible to use too much. I mean, we say impossible, but you can't over treat with the stuff is what I'm looking for. So I run the fuel additives too, and there was a huge difference when I started putting the fuel additives in there. I just kind of found this stuff. Yeah, we're a little shy there. So we'll fire this bad boy up. Let it run for a little bit. Actually, I'll be able to tell you how much I'm shy right now, and then I'll keep that in this. Fill this bottle back up with the oil. Damn, I almost couldn't have did it better. If it's low a little bit, we'll top it off with that. Pretty simple stuff. God, what a mess I made. What a freaking mess I made. Now it's going to be off to the car wash. Get this thing clean. Alright guys, that's about it. That's the oil change. Oil change at its finest. Let me lay that down there. Let that drain out a little bit. That's pretty much it. You can see the difference in the colors here. So that's going to be my oil, my leftover oil. So I added all three of these in there with the exception of that, and I added a bottle of the FR3 friction reducer in with the oil just now at the fresh oil change. And then this stiction eliminator, I don't know, they said about twice a year, during your maintenance you should use this stuff, and it's supposed to help clean the engine out and get all the gunk and stuff out of it. So as I go through and this oil change cycle and I check my oil, I may end up adding some of this into it too. I'm not sure yet, but they say on the bottle here, treatment plan, use approximately 4 ounces per quart of oil at initial cleanup, 2 ounces per 1 quart of oil for maintenance. So about 2 ounces of this per quart of oil. And we're gonna see how it works. Here's the fuel stuff that I used to show you guys here. I just started running this stuff. So they're EDT, everyday treatment. It's had basically 2 ounces in this bottle. So you use 2 of these. You fill this cup up here twice and dump it in. And then this, they say use every 6 months. Diesel Extreme concentrated fuel injector cleaner and cetane booster, and every 6 months you use about 16 ounces or so of that. What's in here? This is 1 quart. It's about a half a quart. So I added that in my last fill up, and I'm about low and ready to fill up again. So all right guys, that's pretty much it. Made a huge mess, recovered, still got a bunch of cleanup to do. Got to clean my floor now and take this dang thing to the car wash and get all the damn oil out from underneath it, so I'm not driving around leaking for months on end now. All right, catch y'all next time.
I think the stars above, I know that we're gonna make it.
take all we got, we gon' make it. Show the world that I shine in our greatness. Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Taking off, flying high like a spaceship. Take control, take a shot, what you waiting for? Keep it real, never gon' fake this. Till we make it, till we make it. Second version telling you I'm ready to go, letting you know.